Yes, it's the You Name It podcast, starring just Davin Christensen this week. I mean, Davin and Jerry this week.
Hola, Jerry.
Hi, Davin. How are you?
Trying to make me star in my own podcast, talking to myself.
I just thought I'd try and boost your ego a little bit today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this way you think you're really important.
Like I have fans or something.
Yeah. We do have fans. Let's say hi to some fans. Magic mirror on the wall. No, I said the wrong thing. That's going to come up later, actually. What's the thing that you used to do with the romper room?
Oh, God, what was it?
Romper, stomper, bumper, boo!
Tell me who.
And you say the names of the people.
Yep.
I see Sarah. I see Jimmy. I see Herbie. I see Adam. And all kinds of people. I like to say I see India, because we have listeners in India.
I see Joe.
Hi, India listeners.
And I see Sandy.
Joe.
And I see Pecky.
And, Pecky the bird.
And Larry.
Yeah, I just want to make people feel included in the show, because you are heard when you contribute. Which Jimmy does most of the contributing out there, you guys.
Yeah, so. He sent you a bunch of stuff this week?
He's always sharing interesting stuff. The problem is without me being able to do production work on this, I was popping some peas. Without the soundboard being tweaked out,
right?
I can't really do anything with the multimedia. So, and it's hard to cover some of the topics without being able to share what the clips are,
right.
YouTube clips and stuff. You know how it is.
Yes, I do.
But Jimmy, it's much appreciated. Big fan of Jimmy in Tennessee. Hopefully it's Tennessee and not Kentucky. Tennessee. Anyway. What do we have this week, everybody? I have a backup plan. Let's go through some topics, but I do have a backup plan, Davin, so don't be alarmed.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we have in the news? Today, breaking news, everyone. What's his head? Tiger Woods. Car crash this morning.
Oh, I did not know that.
To get him out of the car with the jaws of life.
Oh, wow.
We don't know what his situation is. Like, he went to the hospital. Okay. But I think that's pretty common when you get into a big car wreck. They got to check you out. So, yeah. It didn't sound like anything super bad for many of the ones that I read. But it does make you think, don't it, Davin?
Mm-hmm. You never know.
Because he had these problems before.
Right.
And if anybody's watched the recent HBO documentary called Tiger, then they do a lot of talking about possible issues with painkillers and such.
Addictions.
He did that Ambien thing. Remember the Ambien thing?
Mm. Yeah.
Where he was, like, they basically hauled him in for being on something, and then I guess they said it was Ambien, which makes it different somehow than, some sort of... Still, if you're that fucked up and you don't know where you're at, then wouldn't Ambien be just like any other impairing drug then?
You would imagine.
So, I don't know. So maybe we have another Ambien. This is at 7:30 in the morning, though, I think. We'll wait and see how this affects Tiger, which, if you think about it, it shouldn't affect him at all because he's a gazillionaire.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's got plenty of lawyers.
Yeah, and he could... how about you just have someone else drive you around if you're going to do anything? You've got enough money to hire a full-time driver all of the time.
Yep.
That kind of money. What do they call that kind of money?
I'll drive Tiger.
Yeah, but they have a name for that kind of money, like fuck you money or some shit like that. What is it called where you have so much money that you can just piss it all away if you wanted to and still have way more than anybody ever had?
Yep. I don't know, like that guy in the Hummer that parks by our shop and has like 5 parking tickets on every day.
Yes, there's a Hummer on the corner down from where we work that every single day is parked in a no parking spot and every single day has tickets on it. And didn't we run into his brother?
Yeah.
His brother said he doesn't care. He'd rather just park there and pay the tickets. That's a pretty hefty parking fee.
Yeah, isn't it like $50 every time?
Probably. I don't know. We need audience participation. Tell us how much a parking ticket in Detroit is.
He probably owns National Coney Island.
No, he doesn't. That girl does.
Oh, okay.
Interesting video was a new Red Wings player in Detroit here decided he was going to go check out the famous Coney Island thing, which, we're the people who created Coney Island. We've been over this a bunch of times in the show. It wasn't in New York, where Coney Island is. It's in Michigan, is where they made the chili with cheese and all-natural casing hot dog situation.
Yep. Loaded up with onions and mustard. And
yeah. So it started, and one of the first ones was this guy moving over from Greece, I think, in 1910 or some shit like that, and opened up. He had a little hot dog cart, and then he opened up National Coney Island. And then his brother came over and was working with him, and they got pissed off at each other or whatever. So the brother, they split the business, kind of. I have to imagine that they split that building because they're right next door, directly next door.
Now you said, you said National Coney Island. Didn't you mean like Lafayette and American?
No, isn't that National that's by us? Or is that American?
No, American.
Okay, sorry.
National's
another brand around here.
Yeah, that's a franchise.
Yeah, not National. American Coney Island and Lafayette. So I always thought Lafayette was first. Just because it sounded like it was first.
Right, and they're on
American
Lafayette
Coney
Street.
Island sounds lame. What's that?
And they're on Lafayette Street, so...
Yeah, it sort of just feels like it should be Lafayette, but it's not. The American Coney Island was first, Lafayette. So they had a family feud for years. Now, I don't know. I feel like that might have been contrived just so they could both get business.
Right.
Like they had a slightly different recipe on both of them.
Well, I knew back then that they had a alcohol license that they would have to split, and like one year you would go to not National Lafayette Coney Island, and they'd serve beer, and the other one wouldn't, and then the next year it would swap.
That's what makes me think that they originally split the building.
Right.
Because, like, it would be the same address, and that's how you would do a thing like that. So the Red Wing guy goes in to try both of them, and he liked them both. Well, it was strange because I think he liked the Lafayette better, but they're second, and they're not owned by the family anymore. The family sold the Lafayette one to people who worked there. So now it's even worse. There's no tradition left at Lafayette, sadly. So if you're going to go to Detroit, go to American Coney Island because it's the original family.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have to try them both. Maybe the thing that I don't like is that they, like Lafayette is dirtier.
Yeah.
Is what the story is. But there is something about that when you go in. I don't know about the rest of the country, but if you go to what do we call it? Like a greasy spoon kind of thing. There's some charm about it. And sometimes you feel like the food tastes better, even though you're in a place that's kind of like shabby.
Yeah.
But a lot of rumors, a lot of shit like that. Like, they don't even make their own chili anymore. Did you see the truck dropping it off? So, anyway, try them both. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I've always
Coney Island
preferred
dog.
Lafayette over American.
I still have never had either one.
Yeah, but American sells other items besides Coney Dogs and loose burgers, whereas
they're
Lafayette
actually trying to have a business. They have a thing online. Did you see you can order their Coney Dogs in a kit online.
Oh,
but it was weird. It was almost like you had to be a charity to do it. You could
Right.
sell a American Coney kit.
Huh.
But the best thing, any Coney dog is delicious for you in the other parts of the country that don't have them. Natural casing hot dog, super important.
Yep.
And then the
'Cause you
chili.
get the crunch.
Not the goddamn stupid Skyline chili down there in Ohio where you guys have that.
Oh, that's in
stuff
Columbus.
is
Ugh.
gross. It's got cinnamon all through the whole thing. It tastes weird.
Yep.
And it's also not the other kind of Coney dog where they use hearts and lungs and pig faces in the chili. You remember there was a discussion about that recently in Michigan about the Grand Rapids style Coney or something
Right.
that was using organs in the chili.
Ugh.
Like it
Hearts,
was
beef hearts.
different. Yeah. It just probably tastes great still. Because what? When you're eating a hot dog, you're just eating all the shit. You can't make a a pork chop out of.
I like the Seattle dogs. Have you ever had a Seattle dog?
I don't remember. Does it have sauerkraut on it or something?
No, it's got barbecued onions.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia cream cheese.
A lot of variations. Like in Arizona out there where listener Laura lives, they have a Sonoran hot dog. And it's got like Mexican stuff on it, you know?
Okay. And then there's
Mexican
the Chicago hot dog with the pickle on it and the... Doesn't it have peppers on it too?
I think so. But just give me a good old-fashioned Coney Island. I don't even do the onions. I just do the chili and mustard on there. And then I break all the rules and I throw a little bit of ketchup on there too.
Oh, that is breaking the rules.
It is. People would go, "What are you doing? You're wrecking it." But what I found out was when I used to get chili cheese fries at the Coney Island that uses the Coney chili.
Right.
I would sometimes hit it with some ketchup too on the French fries, and I'm like, this tastes pretty good together.
Yeah.
So I just add one little strip of ketchup on there. Try it, everyone. I don't know how we got there, but I'm sure everybody loves Coney Dogs anyway.
Oh, yeah. So what else
Now
you got?
I want one really bad. I want one. Oh, we got another food thing. 2 different food items coming up here. I have found out in my travels that the hardest donut to get is there's 2 different ways of saying it, a raised sugar donut or a sugar-raised donuts. What do you call it, Davin?
Raised sugar donut.
Yeah, I always thought that too, but I've been at the places where it says on the label below the empty tray, it says sugar-raised. I thought, that's weird, that's backwards. But I have some advice for the people at Dunkin' Donuts and... Where the hell's the other one?
I know what your advice is, Jerry.
Donutville. You think you can hear it coming?
Oh, I hear it coming.
Donutville, USA, and all those places. If you're selling out of them all the time, make some more. Just make some more raised sugar donuts. It's not hard. If every time you fucking walk in there, it's empty, that means people like them and are buying them. Make some more.
Quit
Because it's
fucking
like the
me.
only one Lisa wants. Everything would be great if you just quit fucking me. They're the only kind that Lisa likes, so it's tough. I have to when I go out to get some donutty treats and have to come back empty, raised sugar handed.
Well, that's because you're not going early in the morning to pick them up. Because that's
I know,
when they make them.
But then you don't want to do that because donut pickup day is a Friday. So you don't want to go early in the morning. And then they're in your car all day while you work. Then they get home, and then you're not having them until 24 hours later.
Oh, they're not as good. They're not as soft and fresh.
You want them. In fact, most of those places that you go to, maybe not so much Dunkin' Donuts because they probably put preservative poisons in theirs, but all of the little self-owned ones around here, those things will only last a day or two before they're hard because they're all made. They're great for that reason, because you know that they're real donuts. But by Sunday, they're already hard.
I like the donuts from cider mills.
Everybody likes that. Yes.
That and Krispy Kremes.
Krispy Kremes are a weird thing. They're one of the best donuts ever, but it's like a one-trick pony donut. Where it's all the same texture. It's all that. Even when they make their filled ones.
Yeah, or their
it's all
blueberry
the
ones.
slimy thing. The slimy, puffy donut, not the cakey kind. Mm-hmm. But have you ever gone to Krispy Kreme while they're making them and get them fresh?
Oh, yeah. Hot and now.
Yep. I made up my own advertising point for Krispy Kreme donuts. It goes like this. Krispy Kreme donuts. The only donut you can drink.
Because they do. They melt in your mouth.
I know. It's great. Our friend Paul Garucki was the one who took me to Krispy Kreme one time. It was weird. It was like 2 a.m. We were just out fucking around because we used to just go out and drive around and bullshit for no reason when I was young and bored. And he's like, let's go get some Krispy Kreme. I'm like, what is that? Then I found out. They have good, what do they call it? Just the regular chocolate-covered ones.
Right.
Because they do make the cakey kind that are just like white cake with dipped all the way in chocolate. Mm-hmm. Those are good too, but they're expensive.
What about like the burger joints that are out there that people rave about? Because I always hear people raving about Hot and Now, and I tried it and I wasn't that impressed.
Hot and Now.
Yeah, the burger place.
I'm trying to remember what one that is. Hot and Now.
And then there's like down in Texas, there's Whataburger.
Let me look at Hot and Now. Hang on. I'll pull it up on my machine.
The In-N-Out Burger.
Burgers. In-N-Out Burgers was, I don't know if they were nationwide, but they had them here in the Detroit area. And, wait, is Hot and Now done?
They might be.
Because it says, what happened to Hot and Now? It's a complicated story.
Huh.
The last Hot and Now in the world is in Michigan, it says. That was last year. 39-cent burgers. Maybe Hot and Now is the one that I liked. Yes. Exactly. I got it mixed up. When you said In-N-Out Burger, that's the West Coast fantastic burger, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Hot and Now was like this weird kind of drive-through only place in Michigan. And I remember now, you'd get I would stop and get a giant bag of hot dogs, of hamburgers, because they were like 39 cents a piece.
Right.
About the size of a regular McDonald's hamburger. Almost like in between a slider and a regular hamburger, the way that they did that. So I do remember those, and I loved them, and I'm mad that they're gone. Where were you going to go with Hot and Now?
Oh, I'm just getting hungry.
I'm getting hungry now. This show is all about hunger. I wish, it makes me want to leave after this show. It makes me want to drive down to McDonald's and just buy 10 hamburgers in a bag. Yeah. Can I just have 10 hamburgers?
Okay,
now,
so
the
you
In-N-Out
ranted.
burger.
Wait. You ranted about your little donut thing. I have to rant about my dentist.
Your dentist?
My dentist.
Oh, you've got a bad molar. We're going to have to make an appointment for you a week from Tuesday.
Now, I went in for my cleaning, and I have a cavity or two in the same tooth right at the gum line, so I got to go back. So when they were making that appointment, she's like, "Oh, well, I'll make your next cleaning appointment in 3 months." And I said, "No, my insurance pays for every 6 months. Let's make it 6 months." Well, most people prefer every 3 months, and they typically pay out of pocket. Oh, they enjoy paying out of pocket. No.
Most people are stupid. And
Who gets their teeth cleaned every 3 months? Fuck you.
I can tell you this. No one. No one does that.
No. Except for my dentist is probably pushing it because he's got a brand new lobby and all new, he just redid the building.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's like doing the oil change thing.
Yeah.
They have like oil change technology has advanced. There's some types of cars with their oil that you don't have to change for a year, Mm-hmm. But they're still trying to get you to go every 3 months or 3,000 miles.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was dumb. And she's still trying. She's going to she'll get a commission from getting your,
some people like to pay out of pocket and come every 3 months. No, nobody likes to pay out of pocket.
Who likes to do that? Oh, stupid. That is stupid. That's because it's all about greed, Davin.
Yes,
That's another topic I have.
Okay.
Greed. Like that Michael, Douglas guy said greed was good. Greed, for a better term, is good. No, it's not. It pisses off the consumer.
Uh-huh.
Now, we're not talking about greed. I don't give a shit if you're greedy and save all of your money and strive to fill your pockets with cash. That part I don't give a shit about. I give a shit about it affecting your service. Like what we have to do when we go pay people to do things for us, and it's shitty, like airline seats that we always talk about.
Right.
And doctors' offices with their pushing all kinds of, shit that you don't need. And now, Walgreens Pharmacy.
Oh, what are they doing?
Pharmacies are shitty enough to start with because you walk in there and there's a line all the time, isn't there?
Right.
Constantly there's a line you have to wait in unless you're there real off times, like at 1:30 or something. Oh, that's wrong, actually, because at 1:30, Walgreens has a fucking lunch break now. So now you can't just go into Walgreens expecting them to be there during normal business hours. Now they have to cut everybody for a half-hour lunch. Then you have to go and wait, like what I did, go wait in the drive-through lane right up against the window waiting for them to come back.
Yep. I stopped at the gas station the other day, and the door was locked, and it had a sign on the door that said, "Back in 5 minutes."
Yeah, that's old school.
When did they fucking write it? 20 minutes ago? You don't know what 5 minutes is.
That's just saying that I should be back within 5 minutes from when you're reading this.
How long
I get
is
what
this
you're
person
saying.
God? You don't know. Put a fucking time up there.
You need to have one of those little paper-handed clocks that you can switch.
Yep,
like a
exactly.
picture of a clock with the arms that you set it. We'll be back at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Walgreens can afford to have someone there from 1:30 to 2, Davin.
Yeah.
Because if there's a fucking line every time you walk in, they're making money. And what do they pay these people anyway? You know? You can't break them to have 2 people stay for that half hour because there's going to be a line anyway. You know? So if they're slower for that half hour, it's better than not being there at all.
Right.
I'm not saying people can't eat lunch. I'm saying greedy corporations should staff during lunchtime.
Right.
Like they have for 20 years.
Well, licensed pharmacists make a lot of freaking money. So having 2 of them available, just for that 1.5 an hour, I could see why they might do a half-hour break.
Yeah, but they're not all licensed pharmacists. Let's see what it says. Licensed pharmacist salary, $112,000. It says.
Yep.
Is the average. Michigan, it's $112,000. So let's see what the other thing is, because there's a technician. So let's see if there's a difference in a licensed pharmacist technician salary. Well, that would be $32,000 a year.
Right, but can technicians pass out drugs?
So you have one licensed pharmacist there at all times. Just have 2 there all day, right? Because they got to have enough business for them to be working 2 of them. One of them takes a lunch at 1:30. One of them takes it at 2 or 1. It's not that hard, people. You can have the 32,000 person helping out everybody because they're the ones passing them to you anyway. The pharmacist is the one that's going 1 pill, 2 pill, 3 pill, 4, putting it in the thing for you. I know. I don't want to downplay their profession, but it does seem like a lot of easy counting.
Yeah. That and just
Anyway.
type in the drug and make sure it doesn't interact with anything else you're giving them, and bye-bye.
No, you print out the thing, right?
Yep.
They don't even do that. They'll ask you, do you need any information on this? And then they're probably dreading the people who say, yeah, I have some questions. Because they give you a fucking War and Peace on every drug you buy. 9 reams of paper attached to the bag. So you can go home and read that.
I love when
Is this an angry show again?
Yeah, it is. I love when the side effects of the drug are worse than the thing it's trying to help cure.
Right. Like, I've got a stomach ache. I wonder if they could prescribe me something. Yeah, here, something for your stomach ache. It also causes severe headaches.
Oily
It causes
stool. Like,
uncontrollable
ew.
coughing.
I don't want oily stool.
Hot dog fingers. Oily stool. Is that something you read for real?
Yes. Yes, there are drugs that may cause oily stool.
Let me see.
You're going to look it up.
Oily stool. It popped up. That's the first thing. I didn't even get oily typed out. It comes up. Too much fat in your feces is called steatorrhea. Could be a sign of malabsorption. This means your body isn't either absorbing nutrients properly or isn't making the enzymes or bile needed to digest food effectively. If you're experiencing steatorrhea, make an appointment to talk to your doctor. And for you, I'll let you know, Davin. The foods that cause it: nuts, especially whole nuts with the skin on them, fish, This is for you especially. Excessive alcohol.
Okay.
And don't drink. Apparently, you can't drink the essential oils. Like, who's doing that? Who's drinking essential oils?
Oily stool.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Does it say what drugs can cause oily stool?
Well, let's find out. What drugs cause? They want me to say medications, though.
Oh, okay.
Diet pills?
Oh, that could be.
It's not really giving, but I don't. This is such a fucking wormhole, or whatever they call it.
Your search
Right,
under
it's giving you all these
hilarious.
different information and Xenocol and Ally, these different weight loss drugs. But then it's fatty stool. 10 reasons you're having oily stool. Yeah, can't make it through one show
without talking about poop.
I didn't even expect any poop talk today. There it is, though. Okay, that's my Walgreens rant. So, unless Walgreens decides that they want to sponsor us, I'm going to suggest that everybody stop going there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't care that much because there is no good pharmacy. That's just a thing. It's like planes. You can't find an airline that has comfortable seats outside of the first class,
right?
Which sometimes aren't even comfortable either. You've been on those where you fly from Michigan to Indianapolis for 45 minutes.
Yep.
And you're in first class, and it's got 1, 2, 3, like 9 seats up there only.
Yeah.
You got the single one on one side. There's 1 seat on the left side and 2 on the other. Those are smaller too. You're like, what happened to first class? Why are my elbows touching this other person?
Well, that in the glove box side when you're back in coach, where the one side of the plane, you can't fit a carry-on bag. There's no way. You could fit maybe a purse, a small purse.
Are you talking about like on the window seat?
On those little tiny planes, there's the bigger compartment on the right or the left-hand side when you're getting on the plane, where you can fit an overhead, and then there's the little
the
sliding
overheads.
one, yeah,
Okay.
the old school.
Yeah, that's garbage. I never do any storage like that. Mine's always under the seat in front of me, and I haven't had many problems until I went to that one that didn't have a seat. You know, have you ever been on that plane where your row, there's an empty area in front of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's farther back in the plane for whatever reason. So it's going in sets of 3. 3, 3, 3, then there's one that's 2, and then there's 3. So there's not one in front of me. Then you have to fight with the person from the 2-seater that's right in front of you that wants to put their shit underneath the seat of the one that's a row away from you.
Right.
Because I still was like, I'm not going to put this in the overhead because I'm not going to screw around with all that shit. And then they were like, oh, well, this is my row. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is the seat in front of me, not you. You have one in front of you.
Right.
You know, why do you have to explain things to adults? They know what they're doing.
They're just pissed because you've got plenty of fucking leg room and they don't.
Yeah, and be mad at me. I didn't actually like that seat that much because I like having my shit right there in front of me.
Well, I like that seat, but it comes with a remote control for the TV.
Oh yeah, and you don't know about it. You'd have to, because it's in the seat pocket or something. Yeah, you don't know. I never used those much anyway. I just used my phone. I just load up video on my phone and shit like that and watch it. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm an experienced traveler. Very, very entertained on flights because I come prepared.
To watch people.
Don't talk to them ever.
Don't
I don't
make
like
eye
any of that
contact.
talking to people. Yeah. We've got, I got a dumb topic. What time is it?
Oh, it's only 29 minutes in.
I mean, only. I thought that's fast so far. I don't know what this is going to do for us, but I wrote it down and had to say it. I've noticed through the years when you watch, especially old TV shows, that the secret agents and spy type people in these shows, and people like Spock or whatever, like Captain Kirk, they would chop someone in the neck to knock them out. Mm-hmm. And I have no idea, like back in 1963, what combat specialist told the networks that a neck chop would knock someone out, because it doesn't. There's no neck. You don't see the MMA fighters chopping each other in the neck with a karate chop, do you?
Can't you squeeze like part of the neck where the neck meets the shoulder? Can't you squeeze part of that and knock somebody out?
Well, now you're thinking of Spock from Star Trek.
Because it cuts the blood off to their brain or something.
That's actually the artery that's in their neck, and that's what you do when you put the sleeper hold on someone.
Okay.
They do that all the time in MMA, where you choke just that side of their neck and they pass out.
But karate.
But Spock used to just put 2 fingers on your neck and you were out.
Well, he is magical.
He is sort of magical. But all of those old spies, including James Bond, I was watching that, and he did the goddamn neck chop, too. Huh. Like, you didn't knock anybody out. You just chopped them in the neck with your hand. Like somebody watched a Bruce Lee movie and thought you'd do a karate chop. All of a sudden, that was the way to knock people out forever. I don't like it. Don't want to see it again.
That and fight scenes. Didn't you say something you were watching The Matrix? You haven't seen that in years.
Right, I rewatched that. Those were out in 2003, the last couple of them. Terrible. I'm just not a fan. I thought that I remembered them all being good movies, but then I'm watching this and I'm thinking, who put this together? 49-minute fight scenes of flying around and never
dumb story.
Nobody could ever hurt each other and shit. Oh, terrible dialogue. Like the first one was good, and then number 2, all of a sudden it was the I love Trinity. My name's Neo, and I'm in love with Trinity. We don't need a fucking love story in the Matrix. What's wrong with you,
Jerry?
Well, it's true though. And then they replaced the Oracle in number 3 with a completely different woman, and they were like, They're like going, hey, you look different. Well, some things change and some things stay the same, she says to him. Yeah. And that's it. There's the explanation for you.
You never know. Sometimes you're first.
Never know.
Sometimes you're fourth.
Sometimes you're the Oracle. Sometimes you're in 4th place. Oh, God. I've got some political news.
Okay.
I don't want it to seem one-sided because we don't do that on this show. But just these 2 stories just happened to happen. So did you hear the Ted Cruz one, right?
No. Enlighten me.
Ted Cruz from Texas decides that he's going to go to Cancun during the big Texas blackout. And so people were pissed because he left the state during this big emergency, right?
Who gives a fuck?
I get that. Well, I don't. That's where I'll be on that part, is I don't really give a shit if Ted Cruz is hanging around or not. It's what they want, like what the people want for some reason, is for him to go pass out water or some shit like they do after other ones. Right. But they just thought, so you can kind of understand this. So I'm out of power and there's people dying and everything. And just so you're comfortable, Ted, you go to Cancun. I'm going to go where there's power. But this is the part that I want to get at. That happened. People didn't like it. I don't care whether he was there or not. What I do care about is the lying about it, So as he turns out, saying that the reason he was in Cancun wasn't that he was actually going on a vacation. It was that he was dropping his kids off. That he was taking his
spring break.
Like the 2 daughters. Like he was taking them to Cancun and dropping them off. That doesn't fucking happen. People don't. It's not like he had to drive them. You know what I mean? He went because it was fun for him to go to Cancun. That's called a vacation.
How long was he there?
No one drops their adult children off in Cancun.
How long was he there?
Well, as soon as he got caught, like they found out, people started bitching, he came back. That's the other part. It wasn't like a clear timeline. So he was there for 3 days. So this shit happens. He goes to Cancun. People go, hey, what the fuck's he doing in Cancun? And he's like, I'm coming back. I was just dropping my kids off. No, you weren't. Stupid. especially when you invite your college roommate to go with you, your Princeton college roommate. Wouldn't it be fun to come with me to Cancun? What are you doing, Ted? Oh, I'm just dropping my kids off.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
sounds
normal
like a
thing to do.
vacation to me.
It's a vacation. It's totally ridiculous. So I guess to even things up, fuck Joe Biden.
What is that?
Yeah, because I don't want people to think that there's some favoritism going on. It's just the story that is current, like the one today. I'm only saying this story not to attack. I'm saying it because I think it's kind of funny.
Okay.
You know what the CPAC thing is?
CPAC?
CPAC is like the conservative giant trade show event.
Oh, okay.
With all the speakers and everything. They have it every year.
Yeah.
And they all gather there and they do all of their, whatever they do, making a bunch of speeches and stuff. This year, it's called America Uncanceled,
Okay.
which is great because, if anybody, I don't like cancel culture. That's what they're talking about, right?
Right.
Where like the Mandalorian girl gets fired because of whatever she tweeted on whatever. None of that. I don't know why they have to do shit like that. Especially like comedians can no longer make edgy jokes and stuff. That's so stupid.
Right.
So I'm with them on that. America Uncanceled. Great idea. Until day one, when you cancel one of your people from being on the show. There's a rapper named Young Pharaoh who was going to be a speaker at the event.
Okay.
And they found that he had anti-Semitic shit that he was throwing around
So
online.
they canceled him.
So they canceled him for America Uncanceled. They would have been better off to just go with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you do that? It's a dumb marketing move. They should have said, we're not canceling anyone. If he wants to have ideas that even we don't even agree with, then he can still talk. You guys can be mad, but we're not going to cancel him. What a bad mistake. America Uncanceled cancels Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh. I'm sure he's a riveting speaker anyway.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to go there.
Can't imagine a political rapper like it's going to be good. Who knows? Though that was our political break. And shut up, Nancy Pelosi. Going to even it out a little bit still.
Hey, Jerry, you want to be a detective?
Yeah. Going to be a detective with me? I know what we should do, Davin.
What?
I think we should become detectives. Do you want to do that with me?
Yeah.
Talking about the future. That's us. That was us thinking about our prospective futures. If everything stays this shitty because our real jobs are in live events, like maybe we could have worked at CPAC, but we're not wherever that's at. We have to find some, we're going to eventually have to find some other career to do.
Yeah, they would have canceled us anyway.
Probably. That's the thing. If this show were ever popular, like enough to a bunch of ears and eyes on it, I'm sure we'd get shut down. And it wouldn't even be something that we intentionally, like, there wouldn't be an intentional kind of, like, I hate Jews, shit like that. It would be taking something out of context. It would be some joke.
I'd say the word midget and someone would get offended.
Could be. You've done that many times.
Yeah.
It would be something just like that.
They'd get a little offended.
Well, now they will, after you threw that in there. Oh, man. Because, see, I was just dreaming about success for this show and how my life could be. And then you just wrecked it all in one sentence.
Yeah. Midgets might get a little offended.
They're called little people, Davin. You can't, while we're doing this bit, you can't just, you're supposed to at least correct yourself a little bit.
Sorry. A little bit.
Stop it. It's a vicious cycle. We can't get out of it. What else we got? Did you have any topics, Davin, before you go too far?
No, I just wanted to bitch about the dentist.
The dentist.
And that was about it.
I have to go to a dentist soon because I had a toothache. It went away. You ever have that where you have where you think you've got a cavity?
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it doesn't. Like you might eat some
Something
gummy
hot
bears.
hot or cold, or
Well, no, that's always a problem with me. This was one of the sugar things. Like you might eat something sweet, and then it would zing your tooth. Like, ooh, there's a cavity there or something. Then it's gone in 2 days. So I have a theory on that. The nerve died, and it's still a cavity. So I have to go, and I really do not like the dentist situation unless they, like we've talked about many times, unless they turn up the gas. Just do that. Make me comfortable. A lot of them are worried about, you don't need that. What do you need that for? It's because I fucking hate being here, and if you turn the gas on, it's a better experience for me.
I need to get the gas next time I go. They better give me the gas when I get that tooth filled, because
Yes, you demand it, is what you do. I want it all. I want the
shot
I want the
and
gas
the gas
to be on. Yeah, I want the gas to be on. Then I want you to take that numbing shit that you rub around with your fingers on the gums and do that, and then wait the appropriate amount of time where it actually kicks in, not
and then
just
stick
wait
the
2
needle
seconds.
in. Right.
Then you do all the little tiny shots, and then go away again for like 2 minutes. Because I had a tooth pulled one time, and they did it right, where they didn't just old school put the needle in there and just jam it up to your brain in one big go, right? This was beautiful. They did all these little teeny tiny shots, and then they actually let it kick in. And then by the time they did the big shot, you didn't feel the big shot.
Right.
It was great.
I hate how long it lasts. It's almost like an acid trip.
Yeah, and if you need a lot of that shit, are you talking about
The
what do they call that?
the numbness of your whole face, where it just feels.
Novocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called for a second, but the Novocaine, especially if you need more, because hey, can you feel that? Then you get if you get the extra shot,
Right.
that shit's lasting until you go to sleep. It's stupid.
It's like having a half a potato sewn to your face. And I always
the
bite
thing
my
is that-
tongue or my lip or something. It's like, what? Fuck.
I've been lucky. The worst thing that happened to me, I don't think I've bitten anything, but I think the worst thing that happened was driving home and then trying to drink out of a water bottle and it spilling down my shirt.
Yeah.
You
Or out of
can't
a
tell where your
straw.
lips are.
Yeah, but when you bite your tongue and you actually hear the crunch, oh, that's the worst.
I think you just made a lot of people turn off their stream. That is gross. Yeah, we're going to really cheer everybody up here after a bunch of bitching on this show, and then we're going to make you all visualize the dentist. Great job, Jerry.
Tongue
Well.
biting and oily stools, or tongue crunching and oily stools. That could be the name of the episode.
Oh, God. Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I probably do have to put oily stool in the title. I don't think there's any way around that. There goes the credibility of our show.
Ted Cruz.
Politics and oily stool. Or we do the old school way of doing it, a title like that. Does Ted Cruz have oily stool?
Yeah, there you go.
I leave it like that. Because you can't say he does, David.
Right.
We don't know whether or not Ted Cruz has oily stool, but we can ask the question. Somebody else might know. So there it is. That's the title of this week. What is
that's
it?
a clickbait.
186? I think it's 100. Episode 186. Does Ted Cruz have oily stool? Like it. It's going to be one of my favorites in 2 years.
Oh, man. Just scrolling through some of the titles.
Yeah. So I didn't get to do my backup. Maybe I shouldn't even mention what it was. I don't know. I had 40 Mandela effect examples. You know those things?
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
Oh, the Mandela thing. Because it was sort of led from that show we had a little while ago with the Are We in a Simulation?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a bunch of people who think that we are there was an alternate reality like years ago or something. Because there's people that, I vividly remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s. And, all these things that they're wrong about. So there was 40 examples of that. And they're kind of, a little teaser for it because we can use them when we slow down or whatever with a topic. But it's stuff like people remember Jiffy peanut butter, not Jif. They're like, has it always been called just Jif? I remember Jiffy peanut butter. So they think they're in an alternate world because of these things. Oh, the other big one that people talk about is the Sinbad. The comedian was never in a movie where he played a genie, and everybody thinks he was. So they think that something happened. Like, I know that happened for sure, so we're in a different reality. It's the Mandela effect. But we don't have time for that one.
Okay.
Because there's too many of them. Because we're actually over by 6 minutes.
I know, pretty scary.
Yes. Everybody, please take care of your statorrhea. If you have it. Avoid nuts with skins on them.
And fish.
And fish. Avoid talking about oily stool. That's my biggest advice. But please share and have other people listen to the show. It's easy. You grab their phone and you say, here, you should listen to this. And you pull it up on whatever platform you like. Subscribe them. Just at least let them know what it is, because sometimes it's hard to find for people for some reason.
Yeah, well, at least that way we get the unique likes or downloads.
Well, we get that if people actually listen.
Oh, that's true.
I think. No, I guess if it's just downloads. So if somebody downloads it to their phone, then it gets credited as a unique download. You're right about that. But most of the time, it's just people listening to enough of the show. Like, you could listen to 3/4 of the show and it'll count, right?
Right.
But it won't count if you listen for 2 minutes and turn it off.
And go, they're talking about hot dogs. What the fuck?
Fucking hot dogs. When are they going to get to the oily stool? Probably after the hot dogs. That's what normally happens.
After the Lafayette Coney Island dogs.
Yeah, go eat there. You're guaranteed to get oily stool.
Yep.
Now we're sued by Lafayette Coney Island. It's a joke, Lafayette. I'm not making a medical statement that I know for a fact that your Coney dogs will cause oily stool. Imagine having to say that in the news or something. All right, everybody. Thank you very much.
Pop wheelie, guys.